Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Tourism has hinted of the establishment of an interministerial committee to oversee infrastructural development at tourist sites. Now, one of the major issues that has hampered the development of local tourist sites is poor infrastructural development. The situation is serving as a disincentive for tourists. But speaking to Joy Business at the launch of Royal Caribbean Cruise Line in Ghana, the Minister of Tourism, Catherine Afeku, said the establishment of this committee would go a long way to increase revenue.
The tourism sector, according to experts, can contribute more meaningfully to the economy in terms of revenue generation than it is doing now. This will, however, be dependent on appropriate infrastructure in tourist sites. It is against this backdrop that the Minister for Tourism, Catherine Afeku, has hinted of setting up an interministerial committee to help give tourist sites the needed attention.
We have to work together and let them see how interdependent we are as a sector. So I have that cordial relation with the roads minister. I was giving you an example of Kakum. There's only about 3 to 4 kilometers left, and the numbers are going down. So lobbying the road sector ministers, like, if you can finish this, we will improve the numbers that goes to Kakum, and we can enhance the offerings at Kakum. So as a sector, we depend on other sectors to thrive. That's why it's important we put in interministerial committees to push our agenda. But I'm confident that we can do better. This is with road transport ministry. They have Gapoha, they have the port. But because you have good relations, you can always collaborate and let a cruise berth at one of their berths, and business will go on.
Madam Afeku spoke to Joy Business at the launch of Royal Caribbean Cruise Line in Ghana. On his part, Managing Director of Cruises International, George Agrepolis, says Ghana is a prospective location for cruising concepts and hence could be making more gains if harnessed.
I see Africa as the last frontier of cruising. It's one area or one continent where the cruise line hasn't been active yet. So I want to bring the cruising concept and the opportunity to offer cruise holidays in the various countries along Southern Africa. And once we get to a size of market that the cruise lines will find it interesting enough to bring a ship to actually be placed permanently along the African or Southern African coast.
Bindu Travels and Tours is the main agent for the Royal Caribbean International, a cruising vessel for tourists around the globe. Managing Director of the company, Bindu Muki, urged Ghanaians to patronize cruiser ships as an alternative to flying.
I must say that I always felt sailing was a monotonous experience until I had my first family cruise this last December. And after 2 days on board, we decided it was high time we found out where our cabins were. The experience and the entertainment on board was an eye-opener for me and my family. And this is when we knew we had to share all this with you lovely people in my country, Ghana.
Plans are underway to establish a Royal Caribbean office in Ghana before end of the year. Bismarck Ausa, Joy Business.
The Ghana Airports Company Limited says it has already commenced repayment of loans solicited for the Terminal 3 construction. The $250 million Kotoka International Airport Terminal 3 project is part of capital investments by the airport company to improve the state of infrastructure at the facility, which is currently 91% complete. Managing Director for the Ghana Airports Company Limited, John Atefa, explained the company will leverage the expected growth to generate more funds to finance its credit.
At 91% completion, the Kotoka Terminal 3 is close to finish. In the company of project managers, management of the Ghana Airports Company and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, the Minister for Aviation toured the project to assess work ongoing at the terminal. We are currently at the new Kotoka Terminal 3. Now, this edifice is sitting on a 45,000 meter square piece of land. Now, the unique features about this particular new development is, as you can see behind me this time round, we have 7 air bridges, meaning that passengers can directly move from the aircraft into the building. Now, inside the building, we have a very automated baggage handling system, which can handle up to 3,500 baggages an hour. And also, this place can process 1,250 passengers at peak hours, which is 3 times the number at Terminal 1 and Terminal 2.
Now, to briefly refresh your mind, this project was initiated in March 2016, and according to the Director General of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, it is going to be completed on schedule, that is July 2017.
By 91% completion, and we are aiming to complete by, as I said, April 29.
How do you intend to make back all the money that has been spent? What are the plans in place to ensure that we are able to recoup our funds?
We have some charges for passengers using the airport facility, and that is what we have used to support the loan. And we hope that with the growth in passenger traffic, we'll be able to service the loan fairly comfortably. But remember, there are two tranches to the loan. There's a financial, the commercial tranche of 194 million, and there is the development finance one coming from the AFDB, Development Bank of South Africa, and Ghana's own infrastructure investment fund. For the commercial tranche, we've already started paying, and we think that we'll be able to do that as we go along.
And the other tranche?
The other tranche as well, because once you finish with the commercial tranche, then what you are left with is paying for the 205 million for the development finance group, and that we think we'll be able to do it. Of course, some of the terms were a bit stiff, and we are still trying to negotiate with our financiers to see if we can get them softened a bit to allow us to breathe.
On her part, Minister for Aviation Cecilia Depar stressed on proper maintenance of the edifice after it's completed.
I want to stress finally on the quality of work. We can all see that the monitoring has been effective, so we have good quality work. We hope all the little sprucing up will be done, so that at the handing over phase, everything will be up to scratch. Yes, and we believe the rest of the job should be continued as giving us the best quality that we have internationally. And then the maintenance. Yes, beautiful edifice. We need to maintain it. The cost of the project, $274 million. So we need to appreciate what we have and make sure that we, the users, and we, the ones taking care of the facilities, need to be up and doing to give us the best. Yes.
Sheila Tamaklu for Joy Business.
We'll still stay in the aviation space because the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has thrashed off accusations of failure to perform its regulatory oversight, eventually resulting in an accident involving Starbo at the Kotoka International Airport. This follows insistence by the Bureau of Public Safety and the local aviation regulator failed to adhere to the directive by the European Aviation Safety Agency to fix technical challenges associated with the pilot seats of the Starbo aircraft. The Director General for the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Simon Alote, explains plans were underway to fix the defect before the deadline elapsed.
The issue of the seats on the ATR falls in the second category. Operators add up to the end of 2018 to fix the defect. But in the intervening period, strict directions are given as to manage the situation. One such directive was that pilots should check their seats to make sure it's locked before moving or taxiing. And Starbo were fully aware of that instruction, and they had signed to the effect that they had understood the instruction. Indeed, they had plans to eventually replace the seats. I must say that the final report is not out, but suffice it to say that, yes, the seats could have been a contributory factor, the weather, crew resource management, so many factors contributed to the Starbo incident in November.
One will also say that, so within the period stipulated, did we see any, effective action towards regulating the defect before the 2018 period?
Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, the aircraft is damaged now. But the plan was that Starbo will have replaced the seat before the end of the 20-year period. They had plans to do that, but unfortunately, when the aircraft was in Denmark before they took delivery, the seats were not a seat was not available. It was going to take at least a week to order the seats. They were down to 0 aircraft, so they had good intentions to replace the seats, and Civil Aviation will have insisted on it being done before the deadline of 31st December 2018.
You're watching Business Live. We want to bring you the latest on the UniBank takeover. And newly appointed official administrator of UniBank, KPMG, has urged all shareholders the bank that it has taken stock of all assets and will return them after expiration of contract term of 6 months, according to the head of audit and partner KPMG, Anthony Sapong, who spoke with Joy Business. After the bank officially opened for business today, he said he was confident they can turn around the fortunes of the bank after the 6-month period.
You are well aware, we mentioned yesterday that our primary duties, one, include protecting or safeguarding the assets of the bank. Second, safeguarding depositors' funds. And thirdly, managing the bank in a way that is make it safe and also protect the overall financial stability. So what we've gone through today was to do that preparation. And we did announce yesterday that we're going to open for business. And true to that, as I'm speaking now, all branches nationwide have been opened. We would like to take the opportunity to assure customers and all depositors that they can go to their branches to transact businesses as usual, and they will be served. And those who are using other channels like the ATM and the online can also use those platforms to access their banks. We will continue to hold ourselves to support our customers and make sure that everybody is served. So we will request that all bank stakeholders and our customers remain calm as normal operations have resumed. We did release last night a announcement that the operations will resume at noon today.
Meanwhile, marketing manager of UniBank, Felix Donto, has assured of their full support to ensure that the interests of staff of the bank is protected.
Nothing is going to change. We're having a solid relationship with them, and we're working together. So far, so good. And our interest is in the customers, and we want to assure them that everything is fine, their deposits are safe, and everything is okay.
What is the assurance that their deposits are safe? Because the Bank of Ghana don't seem to have confidence in you, and that's why they want them to take it over.
But the person who's managing is telling you that everything is fine. He just mentioned that to you, that everything is fine. He's giving you the full assurances. Okay, and from now, they are taking charge of that, and they're giving you full assurances. And so I think you should take what they've told you. The relationship with our official assets management would handle most of these things.
So what should we expect in the future? Of course, there were earlier reports that 8 other banks were in distress. Well, the Bank of Ghana says it does not expect any more banks to become so distressed to require its intervention for the remaining part of the year. Second Deputy Governor, Elsie Awaji, who spoke on Joy FM's Super Morning Show, said as far as the regulator is concerned, all banks are in good standing and should remain so.
The outlook is very positive. The banks are doing very well. From the asset quality review exercise that was conducted in 2016, there were 9 banks that at the time had problems with capital. The other banks had all submitted plans to correct all the deficiencies that we had identified. And all those banks are working assiduously to correct those problems. The other banks are strong. They've all taken steps to correct all the deficiencies we identified. And we're very positive that they will remain strong going forward.
Second Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Elsie Awaji, speaking on the Super Morning Show. You're watching Business Live. We want to turn to the Joy Business van. We've taken you to meet a street artist and next Ghana's fastest live artist. Now, as we focus on art, the art industry this month on the Joy Business van, we want to delve into what it takes to manage artists. Our stop today is at Pejiase in the Eastern region, where Andrew Kofi Solomons is managing the Big Apples Art Gallery. Larry Otu is a painter with 40 years of experience. He's showing us some of his works displayed in the Big Apple's art gallery. He's one of the few Ghanaian artists making a mark in the industry that is worth about $50 billion globally. Strategically located on the road to the Bree Mountains, Big Apple's gallery was set up by Andrew Kofi Solomons 2 years ago to showcase the works of Ghanaian artists and create demand.
We came to the industry, realized that there's no demand, there's no industry. So we decided to create the industry for the artists and advise them not to paint to survive, but they should be driven by their passion.
Andrew himself is passionate about art. He identified very early that most artists in Ghana could not progress much because they lacked managers. But what does his work as a manager entail?
When you go to international markets, you don't see the artists. It's a gallery that fronts the artists. They're always in the studio putting something on the canvas. Yeah, so it's through the network that we have, the collectors that we have art collectors here. So we link them with the art collectors. We organize exhibitions for them, not just exhibition, but high standard exhibition for them. And we call for big people to come and view their work.
Andrew started the Portmanteau Festival to encourage more Ghanaians to appreciate art pieces.
The background, you see faces wearing masks, which is the normal of masqueraders, you know, and then you find the accompanying brass band with the trumpeter busy.
Larry explains to us how difficult it is to sell and how galleries like Big Apple's are helpful.
It's like sometimes you sell once in a month or once or twice in a year, and then that's about it. It's difficult to place a real day-to-day value on the work sometimes we produce. It depends on how you market yourself. If you have a good market that has been created, then you can sell and sell properly.
Big Apples has sold as high as 19,000 Ghana cedis for an art piece, but Andy's concern is that it is mostly patronized by foreigners. He wishes more Ghanaians could visit the gallery.
We don't have a national gallery in Ghana. We don't have a national gallery. It's a very big problem. The government is not looking at. When you go to Zimbabwe, you have a national gallery. You go to Kenya, you have a national gallery. Yeah. So growing up as a child, and if you have that passion, yeah, it will be very easy for you to develop that passion and make it big for yourself. Yeah. So I think the government have to also pay attention to the industry and support us as an artist. Yeah. And the industry is not only music. The industry is not only entertainment and all that. Yeah.
Andy is managing about 15 artists so far. He's happy he's helping people realize their dreams. For now, he wants Big Apples to become a world-class art gallery.
We are trying to at least get a bigger place, which is almost close to where we can hang at least 500 artworks. Yeah. This place takes at least 100 artworks, but we're looking forward to get a place that can hang 500 artworks from different countries, not only Ghanaians. Yeah.
Big Apples currently exhibits about 100 artworks. We want to bring you our interview of the day. The Lands Commission says it is waiting for government funding to fully roll out its digitized lands regime. So far, only 10% of lands in the country are digitized. Our CEO of the Commission, Dr. Wilfred Enimodame, says this will go a long way to clean up the mess in Ghana's land administration. He spoke to Odilia Ntiauma on varied issues, including the possibility that the airport company will buy out developers within the enclave to preserve the national asset.
As we speak, I can confirm to the Ghanaian populace that the Lands Commission now has a digital platform. This digital platform is known as the Ghana Enterprise Land Information Systems. The platform is just like a vehicle that is going to lead us into the future where we have to move all land administration processes in a digital platform. But if you have a vehicle without fuel, your vehicle cannot run. So what we are doing currently is to migrate all the records that have been digitized and scanned onto the platform. We have done almost 10% currently. So the Vice President's visit to the Lands Commission was really a motivation for the Commission, because the Vice President came to confirm government commitment to ensure that land administration is run on a paperless environment.
That's our interview of the day. My name is Darokwa. Thanks for watching Business Live. We are back tomorrow.